The Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game has over 10,000 unique cards for players to collect, trade, and construct their own personal decks. But what would happen if players only had access to the bare minimum? In this series, both the TheRJB0 and myself will each open a very select amount of sealed product. Once we open that product, we must build a deck using only those specific cards pulled, that's it. And at the end of each episode, we discard the entirety of our pulls to the graveyard and start from scratch with a new product. Every card counts. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Sealed Showdown. My name is Alex Cimoooooooo, and I have ulcerative colitis. Ulcerative colitis is a chronic inflammatory disease that affects the lining of the colon, causing the formation of small sores and ulcers, as well as a plethora of debilitating symptoms. I've lived with this miserable disease for 15 years, and there does not yet exist a cure. That's why for the month of December, I'm helping raise both money and awareness for the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation so that no one has to suffer like I have. For every milestone achieved through your donations, I'll be making dedicated videos for your enjoyment. All proceeds will go directly to the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Click the links down below to donate now and to learn more about my story with ulcerative colitis. Together, we will find a cure. All right, I could really get used to the Zexal era because we have not dropped a single match. And let's keep it going with a set that a lot of people remember, even though it's not technically Zexal. We're actually taking a step back in time here to GX. Legendary Collection 2. A lot of you found Legendary Collection 1 to be interesting, and I think this one will be similar. It actually has its own type of pack, the Legendary Collection GX pack that a lot of you may remember, just because there's a lot of really solid reprints in here. So I think this will be exciting, not just for this episode, but also for Progression Series once we get to that point. So we're going to be opening 25 packs of this, and we also just get a buttload of promos. There are 10 different promos, plus the 3 Sacred Beasts. We get 3 Dark Lords, Cyber Larva, Lion Alligator, Spawn Alligator, Great Tornado, Parallel World Fusion, Dragonic Tactics, and Court of Justice. Now, I gotta be honest with you, we're probably not going to play any of these, but we will consider. 25 packs of Legendary Collection 2 coming right up. All right, pack number 1. Let's see what we are working with. So each of these packs, I believe, has a rare, super, ultra, and secret, like a lot of the Legendary Collections start doing around this time. Our first pack isn't too great. Infernal Prodigy is like a mini Cyber Dragon, if you want to call it that. Dasher's also not terrible either. The rest of these cards, though, we're going to need some help.
Well, folks, I can't tell you I expected to look forward to going back to the GX era, but the second Legendary Collection is one of the most fun sets in Yu-Gi-Oh! History. There's a lot of wild stuff in here. I'm just gonna jump right into it. Starting with a couple of hot ones. We've got Card Trooper. We've of course got Cyber Dragon. Dark Calling with Evil Hero Malicious Fiend is a potential build around. One of the cool things about this set is because the archetypal strategies exist mostly in the high rarity slots, it's not really clear what you're going to be playing at any given instance. Grave Squirmer is of course a great staple, and E-Emergency Call is phenomenal if we get into those hero monsters we're hoping to see with Malicious Fiend in the mix. This was a hot one. Let's move on to the next.
Okay, that's actually a 6 secret rare pull. Necro Gardener is a fantastic card. Even if we don't have a way to necessarily mill it off the top of our deck, just having this to block an attack could be quite good to be able to set up for the following turn. Bunch of Neospatian stuff, some Crystal Beast stuff. I mean, you could just see this is a massive mishmash, but depending on the way our pulls go, we could actually pull quite a few neat strategies here. So Judgment Dragons in here are common, but the problem is we need to get all of the other Light Swords for this to be playable, and so we'll see how that ends up working out. I think most of them are actually higher rarity because most of them in Light of Destruction were low rarity, and they reprinted them in here at higher rarity, but we'll have to see. Skyscraper 2 Hero Cities, actually not a terrible card for sealed if we have the hero core to support this, and so we'll definitely keep an eye out for that. Crystal Release and Carbuncle for Crystal Beast is also online as well, so you can see there's a variety of different strategies available to us this time.
Pack number 2 brings us Power Bond as our secret rare. I didn't know that was a secret rare in this set. Diamond Dude. So Diamond Dude is cool because remember we just saw the Destiny Hero Sakuretsu armor. So that's a Gladiator Beast Andal, also a phenomenal comment. The comments are also not guaranteed. They're a little difficult to get. Necroid Shaman is an okay card too if we get the parts. A lot of the vanilla heroes are available in here. Grand Convergence also kind of cool if we get Macrocosmos, which is a little tough because I believe it's an ultra rare. Gladiator Beast Lanista is not great, but it's got 1800 attack and it's a Glad, so I can't complain. Yubel Terror Incarnate, incredible. Anishi Shien's Chancellor is genuinely a good card because the basic 6 Samurai are in here, and there's my first Stratos that's very good as a common. We've also got an Ancient City Rainbow Ruins to go with that Crystal Raigeki that we got. Most of the Crystal Beasts I do think are high rarity though. A lot of the low rarity cards in this set are bizarre.
Stratos is in here a common, which is pretty sick because since we don't have any limitations on cards, we could play 3 Stratos if we pull it. And not that we're playing Airblade Turbo or anything, but you know, I'm not going to complain about that. Disc Commander being a secret rare is fantastic. DD Survivor is just a nice beater. I don't know how much of the macro stuff is in here. There might be a little bit, but if there is, that's something to consider as well. This is exciting. This is a lot of fun stuff. God, Grandmaster's in here at common as well. So like 6 Sams are a strategy too. Banisher of the Radiance coming in at secret rare, although for the purposes of sealed, I mean, it's like a slightly larger beater, but not fantastic. Miracle Fusion is a huge bomb. I mean, we've been getting fusions left and right as well, so that's even something we have to consider too.
Next pack, Arcus Lightsworn Druid. He's an 1800 defender, I guess. Rainbow Neos is a cool super rare. I don't know if we're going to get the parts to be able to make it, but it would be very cool if we could. Clayman at that common slot is very important. We want to see as many of those heroes as possible because of the searchability, and Clayman is arguably the best one. Phantom Skyblaster is a very cool card, but we don't have any extra deck cards to take advantage of it. Pack number 5, Necro Garden is a very strong one. Shuten Doji is really good if we see a Mizuki, which I don't expect. Evil Hero Infernal Prodigy, however, is a card that did not make a big splash when it was released, but has recently come out to be very good in Edison format. This basically gives us a free monster to be tributed for our tribute summons, so I intend to make good use of this card. Wild Wingman is a good one to see. Mariner is an one to see, and Cyclone Blade is pretty cool considering we've gotten a couple of Destiny heroes to play with.
There are Gladiator Beasts in here. We just pulled our first Proving Ground, but I mean, we need to get a solid enough core. I think there's like 200 and something cards in this set, so it's not going to be one of those sets where we're going to pull everything, and I think that makes it more fun from like a sealed perspective, especially for you guys, just because Robert and I are most likely going to come into this episode with different, just different strategies altogether. Okay, well, if we did want to play Lightsworn, I mean, that's a wolf. That's our second Grandmaster, though. I really hope we can actually scrounge together our 6 Sam core, because, I mean, we have Cunning as well. I mean, Robert's probably going to have these cards, too, because they're commons, but again, the pool for this set is so vast that it's actually possible that we don't get all of the commons that we necessarily want, and hopefully if we just pull like a good enough set of those and the other holos can support it, that's great.
Pack number 6, Neos Alias as our secret rare. One of the best secret rares we could have gotten here. A second Card Trooper is phenomenal. There's our second D counter. We've seen a lot of Destiny here. There's a Dogma. I don't expect that we're going to be playing this one, but it is there to herald us right back to Duelist Pack Aster Phoenix. And there's Evil Hero Infernal Gainer, which is very, very good with the evil heroes that we are hoping to see here. A lot of cool stuff. 6 Samurai Kamon is really good to go with our Inishi. I'm really interested to see where this is going. So far, my hero package is excellent. Pack 7, there's a great Shogun Shien. Fascinating. Ice Queen is a big boss monster, but she may be worthwhile. A D shield to go with our D counter. A third Gladiator Beast Andal is cool. Neos is interesting for that Rainbow Neos. We do have the fusion rule to work with, and because we have a Rainbow Neos already, we can get some extra copies of the materials. Great Shogun Shien, though, is very cool to see, especially if we can pick up a Zanji.
So there's an Overload fusion. We pulled a Chimera Tech Overdragon a few packs back. If we don't have Cyber Dragon, then this isn't really going to be too good for us, but I mean, that is a possible way we could just like win the game out of nowhere if we pull the right cards. It seems to be the theme of this set, I guess not even just the set, the whole series, is if we pull pull the right cards. Darius is pretty sick if we decide to go down the Gladiator Beast route, but honestly, I'm more excited about the top row here. There's a Yariza, a Zanji, and a Ryo. I mean, talk about bombs in the common department. These are huge. God, Mizuki's a hell of a card too, but I don't even think there are zombies in this set that are like really going to be supported by this. If there are, we haven't pulled them yet.
Next, back Necro Gardener and Arcus again. An interesting combo. There's another Grave Squirmer, which is great. Clay Charge is actually probably okay in this set. And Offering to the Snake Deity is an interesting sleeper card. We'll see what we can do with that. Cyber Twin Dragon. It is something that we can make with Power Bond. We only have the one Cyber Dragon, but there are the Cyber Dragon counterpart things that exist in this set. Mudball Man is kind of cool. Wild Heart is kind of cool. Clock Tower Prison is kind of cool. Cyclone Blade is pretty cool. So a lot of cool cards to be seeing right here. Next pack, another Stratos is phenomenal, and a Lumina. Okay, we've got Lightsworn stuff to work with now. Between the double Arcus and the Lumina, if we can get things like a Wolf and or a Garoth and or a Jane. I know that JD is in this set, so we may have the payoffs for it. Another Shogun Chien is not ideal, but you know, we work with what we can get. Space Gift also interesting because the Neospatians are in here.
Instant Fusion's in here as an Ultra too. Again, I'm not sure how useful this is. At the very least, this could be tribute fodder for something, so I definitely should keep an eye on this. I don't know if we have any actual targets though, because most of the elemental heroes need to be fusion summoned first, and so I'm not sure if that conflicts with this. I'll have to double check. I'm not knowledgeable enough to know for sure. Another Infernal Prodigy though is also not terrible. Man, there's a Destiny draw too. That is so good with our Disc Commander, although we haven't really gotten a way to get Disc Commander back. Typically you have like pre-mat. We haven't even gotten like a Fearmonger or anything, so that's kind of depressing. Speaking of which, I haven't seen any more copies of Stratos either, so I'd like to see that. Honestly, I think at this point, the way our polls have been going, I'm eyeing for the 6 Sam stuff more than anything, because 2 Grandmasters already is a nice set.
Flame Wingman, not bad. This is one of the kind of quintessential easy to make elemental hero fusions, so pretty okay there. Crystal Tree is interesting. We have been seeing some Crystal Beast monsters, but we haven't seen Sapphire Pegasus, which is kind of important. Elemental hero Poison Rose. I've never heard of this card, which means that it's not a good sign, but this is sealed Showdown. Anything can happen. Cannot be normal summoner set. Must be summoned with Rosebud. Okay, I'm already no longer listening. Next pack, a Sparkman at Secret Rare. That's kind of cool. Overload Fusion, also cool. I don't think that we're going to have the Chimera Tech pieces to really make use of it. A Card Trooper. That is our 3rd common Card Trooper. That's phenomenal to see, even before halfway through the set. Next pack, there's a Gladiator Beast Secutor. Interesting. Oh, Oversoul is a phenomenal card. If we can get a few of those, then it's definitely going to be worth looking into Neos plays, because this is just Monster Reborn for our vanilla heroes, and we've got a couple of good ones there. Proto Cyber Dragon is interesting. We do have the regular Cyber Dragon and the Cyber Twin Dragon to potentially think about. I don't know if we have the consistency pieces to make that worthwhile, but it certainly is funny.
Geez, there's a Bestiari, a Cyber Phoenix. God, there's so many different directions we can go this set. And there's a Sapphire Pegasus for the Crystal Beast. Oh my god, like, I mean, what do we do? Also, Gladiator Beast Lanista. I don't think I've ever seen this card in my life. Typical Gladiator Beast text. If it's special summoned by a Gladiator Beast, target a Gladiator Beast monster in your graveyard, banish it. This card's name becomes that. Okay, that's why we've never seen it. To be fair, it's 1800 though. Like, that's not terrible.
Test Tiger. Sure. Destiny Hero Malicious is interesting. We do have tribute summons that are potentially worthwhile. Neos Wiseman, I think, requires Ubel in order to work, so I'm not going to think about that one. But E-Emergency Call, a phenomenal card. This makes our Stratos all the more consistent. All right, we're about halfway through. I'm seeing some extremely good pulls, but nothing's really coming together into a deck yet. I've definitely seen good hero cards to play with, and we've seen the triple Card Trooper, which is not bad in and of itself. Let's see if we can get some more of those Light Sworns, maybe a couple Miracle Fusions to play with. We'll see. We got Instant Fusion Power Bond. That's something. There's our first Zanji. We are looking for a few copies, as we did get the double Shien and the Anishi to work with. There's our second Malicious, so Malicious is online for us. Evil Hero Wild Cyclone, also potentially good. There's an Avian, so we can make the Wild Cyclone now. That's funny. A Destiny End Dragoon is a fun card for us to potentially work toward. We have received, I think, 2 Dogmas now. If we can get a couple Plasmas, I will think about running that. Oh, and a Gladiator Proving Ground for our Andals.
Geez, the second half of this opening's really been pivoting more to the Glads, because there's a Hoplomys now as well. Crystal Pear is also not terrible if we go the Crystal Beast route. But again, I feel like we don't have enough cards from what I've seen so far to make like one fully fledged deck. I feel like we're gonna have to play some weird hybrid deck of like 2 of these archetypes, and that sounds kind of fun. There's Gladiator Beast of Quest. Macrocosmos for the DD Survivor we pulled isn't terrible, and that's our 3rd Grandmaster. Oh my, I feel like we have to go 6 Sams with 3 of this. This is just insane.
Mirror Gate again, there's our 3rd Dogma, excellent. On Eero, we definitely want copies of that. Crystal Beast Emerald Tortoise is arguably the best easy to get Crystal Beast for us. Another Andal, excellent. Pack 18, a Darius. Okay. Neospatian Aqua Dolphin, also a sick card to pull with Cyber Dragon. If we can get another Cyber Dragon, I will certainly think about running Aqua Dolphin for the ability to just shoot free cards out of Alex's hand. Dark Lord Desire, also potentially good. I don't know if we have any good fairies to work with, though. We really can make Rainbow Neos! You know, folks, I may have the angle shoot for us. Unfortunately, there aren't any tuners for Dark End. Otherwise, Dark End plus Malicious would be a phenomenal pull. I'm loving the Destiny Signal, Hero Signal synergy we've got going on here. A couple of fun things going on, but I now have conceivably a few copies of Rainbow Dragon, and we've got the Rainbow Neoses to back it up. We have a second White Knight Dragon, a really interesting card if we can put it onto the board. Not much that can out it if I remember correctly. Destiny Hero Defender is pretty cool. Another Aqua Dolphin, another Infernal Gainer. It would be cool to get a malicious What's-Her-Bucket. Disc Commander. I don't think we have any way of resurrecting it, unfortunately. Maybe Fearmonger? Things to consider, folks.
Holy shit, Future Fusion's in here as well. This is crazy because we have a lot of viable fusion targets, and we have, I'm pretty sure, almost all the materials to make them. So this, if there's no real way to remove Future Fusion, could just be a game-winning card.
21, we've got another Darius. That's our 2nd Proto-Cyber. If we get a 3rd Proto-Cyber, I will consider running those power bonds. Cyber Twin Dragon is just such a powerful card. Edgehammer's very funny. D-Chain, also interesting. There's my 2nd Zanji. Would love to see that. A 3rd of those in the last couple of packs. Dasher is a solid Destiny hero to work with. Cyber Valley's just a genuinely good card. I haven't seen a Skyscraper, if I remember correctly, so this Captain Gold is a little suspect, but that is our 3rd Zanji. So we have triple Zanji, we've got at least 1 Eero, at least 1 Kamon. That's our 3rd Mali, too, and of course, another Dark Lord Desire. Phenomenal. 3 packs left. I think we have the real potential to round out something interesting here.
Oh my god, fucking Dandelion's in here, too. Although, I'm not really sure what we're doing with Dandelion. I guess maybe, I don't know if, it's weird because like we don't have like quick draw, we don't have synchros. Like Dandelion's insane, but in the right context, of course. Another proving ground if we want to keep going with Glads. I am almost at a loss for what we're supposed to do with this because there's just so many cards to work with here.
Not a lot to talk about here. Darkness Destroyer, I want to say, is a funny card. Ooh, Skyscraper's very good with our triple Statos and our Captain Gold. Ooh, Darkness Destroyer is a level 7 and therefore not really much to talk about. But it can attack twice during each battle phase. Cyber End Dragon. What could this mean? What could this mean? Elemental Hero Prisma, genuinely interesting for me because of its ability to become Neos. And then we could like Oversoul Neos back. Interesting. Okay. Last pack, I'm hoping to see another Neos and another Oversoul. The 2nd Yubel and a Macrocosmos. Phenomenal. Thunder King Ryo ain't bad. Okay. I have stuff to work with. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it's certainly stuff, and I certainly can work with it. Let's get into the deck build and see what we can come up with.
All right, well, only a few packs left of Legendary Collection 2, and holy shit, this has been an opening. There's a Jane. I don't think we have enough Lightsworns for JD. I really wish we did. Andal's not even terrible because we could just play the good Glads just as beaters to have some use for them. So honestly, I don't think that's the worst. Let's see what we get in our 2nd to last pack here. Topaz Tiger's not the worst. Double-Edged Sword Technique for our 6 Sams also isn't terrible either. Grand Mole's a fantastic card by itself to be able to outstuff and just maintain tempo. Very interesting. Last pack, though, I don't even know what I could possibly possibly ask for at this point, because these polls have been all over the place. And judging by what we got, Destiny Signal's interesting, offering to the Snake Deities removal, another Lanista if we want to go for like a Glad strat. I mean, there's just so many different cards to work with here. Wow, this is going to take some thinking.
We got a lot of cool potential strategies to work with this time around. I got the potential to play with Cyber Dragons to go into Cyber Twin Cyber End. I got the opportunity to go into Rainbow Neos or Destiny End Dragoon, all of which I decided were a little bit too inconsistent and sacky for me to be comfortable with. And I got some pretty good hero stuff and some pretty good Six Samurai stuff. And so I decided to run a combination of the good with the garbage because I have a fun strat ahead of us. Starting off with our good cards, one Cyber Dragon Triple Card Trooper. These are just generally good cards. One Thunder King Ryo, one Cyber Valley, doubles Grave Squirmer. This destroys pretty much anything in the game, which is great. Triple Andal, just a 1900 attack point dude, which is great to have. Double Elemental Hero Stratos, one Elemental Hero Neos. This is the lineup of these cards that I pulled. Basically, our hero beat lineup, one Clayman for the defense points that is relevant to this deck for reasons we'll get to in a second. Double Necro Gardener. This card is just generally strong, especially when we are trying to defend monsters that can resurrect other monsters from the graveyard. Triple E Emergency Call gets us into our big guys more easily, by which I mean our Stratos, which gets us into the rest of our strat. One Our Righteous Justice for back row removal, one Oversoul for our Clayman and our Alias. Double Instant Fusion. This is kind of a cute little alley-oop. If Alex gets a difficult to take out monster on the board, we can instant fusion into Necroid Shaman, target that monster, and switch it with a monster in Alex's graveyard, which seems very, very good to me. Next, we have Hero Signal to get us into our Stratos a little bit more easily, or our Clayman if we need the Defender. And then we have the Destiny Heroes. This strategy is here for a couple of reasons. First, it's a little bit more consistent than the other ones, and second, it's a little bit more funny. I hope to bring Alex back to the days of Duelist Pack Aster Phoenix with this one. We start with one Dasher, one Disc Commander, because we pulled that. That's kind of cool, and it's summonable off of our Fearmonger and also off of our Captain Tenacious. We've got one Diamond Dude because he's a guy and we might hit our Righteous Justice or Oversoul or E-Call if we mill with him. One Destiny Hero Dread Master. This is the focus of the deck. It's a little bit slow because it takes 4 turns before it's online. However, if I resolve it, I've got a dude with massive amounts of attack who also resurrects guys from the graveyard, which is solid. To support that, we have double Destiny Signal to help us get into our Destiny Heroes more easily, double D Counter to protect them, one D Shield to potentially make a Captain Tenacious invincible, and then triple Clock Tower Prison. I really want Alex to throw away cards to destroy this Clock Tower Prison and not focus as much on our monsters. And then one Cyclone Blade for additional back row removal. Our side deck is some probably better strategies. We've got a cool hero beat strategy going on here with Captain Gold and Skyscraper as well as Wildheart, but we also have an interesting strategy with Dark Calling. Prisma can send away either our Wildheart or our Avian to copy the name of Wild Cyclone in the extra deck. In fact, I might bring in a Wild Wingman, which I did pull, just so that I can reveal that instead of Wild Cyclone. So Alex doesn't know what we're up to here. We can use that to send these guys to the graveyard and then Dark Calling them away to go into Wild Wingman, or Wild Cyclone, which seems like a really funny strategy, and I think I want to try it. We also have 6 Samurais in here. I decided not to run Shien because it's just tough for this deck with only 5-6 Samurai to get them on the board, but Anishi is a really good payoff to the deck anyway, and being able to swarm with things like Return of the Six seems pretty solid. This is the strat. It looks like a lot of fun. I'm excited to see what Alex brings to the table.
So, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. This is an amalgamation and a half, that's for sure. This is a really weird set. So, the trap cards in this set kind of suck, and they're like so conditional that I don't really feel like most of them are worth it, apart from like Destiny Signal, at least the ones that I pulled. I guess there's the Destiny Trap that can like basically be Sakuretsu armor, but you need to play the Destiny heroes for that, and I'm not sure if that's too great. So we're sort of just playing all the good cards we pulled and then some, and yeah, this is what you get. So let's kind of go through the card by card as quickly as we can, because there's a lot. So we have Emerald Tortoise as a 2K defender. Sapphire Pegasus is an 1800. It can get one of these other two, but there's only like one synergy I can think of with this, which we'll cover later. Topaz Tiger goes to 2K, but he's base 16, 18, so he's not fantastic. Survivor's 18. Maybe the macro thing comes up. That'd be pretty funny. Dasher's in here because I do have a couple like high statted things. So if this just gets to the grave early, we could just like drop one of the big things and just nuke Robert out of nowhere. Speaking of which, we are on 1 Blade Edge. The reason for this is a couple reasons. First of which, I am playing Future Fusion, which I have Elemental Hero Plasma Vice in here for. And so this is like not a terrible card in all honesty. It's pretty decent. So I like having it here for this. But also, I feel like because there's a lot of 2K defenders and not a ton of removal, it may come up where just summoning a 2 tribute guy just that can hit into everything may actually sort of work. And so this is 2600. And for some other cards we'll talk about later as well, it also like stands up pretty well with like Skyscraper, because with anything that's 50 or 1600 and below, Blade Edge will minimum trade, if not just kill it with Skyscraper. And so at the very least, Robert's gonna need something like Heat or Stratos to hit over it with Skyscraper. So I want to make sure the 2 tribute guy is big enough, which is why we're playing this instead of something like Darkness Destroyer. We'll cover that later on. Heat's 1800, Stratos is 1800. We're playing 3 Woodsmen, which are 2K defenders. They also boost Heat, so I figure that's pretty synergistic. Then we have some Glad. So Bestiari can pop back row, which could be relevant. Could also pop field spells, which might be quite relevant in this set as well. Darius can get something back. I'm not sure if that's good or not, but it's a possibility. A Quest can get something to hand, which might be useful. And we have our Hopplemus, which is just a 2400 if we summon it off of an effect of a Glad, so that's pretty good. Then we have 2 Lanista, again, just an 1800, fine. The Wind attribute is actually quite important for this, and we'll talk about that later. 2 copies of Grave Scormer. This is actually a good card because if it's killed by battle, we just get to pop a card. That's pretty nice. Jane can go up to 21. Lion Alligator's 19. Necro Gardener just buys us a turn if we need to set up something. Grand Mole can out big things and also just bounces back to hand, so it kind of has like built-in protection. Zanji's just 18. Ryo's 19. White Night Dragon is actually maybe the best 2 tribute we have because it has protection and it's also just 3000. So I think it's really hard, even with like Skyscraper, to get over this, which is why I like having this in here. Honestly, if I had 2 White Knight, I'd probably play that over the Blade Edge, but we're here for that. Clayman's a 2K defender. Sparkman's in here because of the Plasma Vice, but also because we can make Thunder Giant. That gives us an option as well. So I like that being in here. Andal's just a 19, but we can search it because we have plenty of search spells. We have an E-Emergency Call, Double Proving Ground, the aforementioned Future Fusion, H Heated Heart to be able to get over stuff. Miracle Fusion is quite interesting. So Great Tornado, one of our promos, actually needs any E-Hero and any Wind monster. So this is actually quite easy to summon in our deck because aside from me maybe needing the E-Hero requirement, we have a lot of Winds. So that's actually kind of nice. But we can also just Miracle Fusion into any of the other ones like Plasma Vice and Thunder Giant as well if we have the requisite materials. Then we have double Skyscraper 2, which is just constant recursion in a format where we don't really have a lot of spell and trap removal, and triple Venom Swamp. So we're back on this because there isn't a ton of removal in this set, and so I figure this is a way that we can just clear the 2K defenders, we can clear the big attackers, and yeah, we sort of play this game where we're just trading for cards essentially, but we have so many monsters that I feel like we probably should win that battle. We'll have to see. In the side, we have another Emerald Tortoise. Dandelion's in here in case we want to go a more tribute-heavy summoning route, which is what we're kind of siding into here with double Darkness Destroyer. This loses to more things with Skyscraper, but this is just a great card because it does a ton of damage very quickly, even though it is a 2 tribute. We have a couple of D heroes because we can play Destiny Signal. We have 2 evil heroes, which again, more just fodder for being able to get to the tribute summons easier. Same thing goes for double Instant Fusion. The Polymerization can be searched with Woodsman, and like maybe that comes up. I doubt it though. And double Skyscraper because I mean we do have a few heroes, so it's like kind of removal. Also, if like Robert's on the Venom Swamp thing and it becomes annoying, I think we can, if we're playing with the field spell rule, I think we can just use this to crack his Venom Swamp. So we'll have to see. This is going to be a clusterfuck, but honestly, this may be as good as GX looks. So ladies and gentlemen, let's not make you wait any longer. It's time to duel. You know, Robert, it's not often I get to say this, but we have a lot of different strategies available to us depending on the way that our polls went. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling interestingly. I feel like I got a pretty solid lineup in some ways, but not enough to totally take me over the finish line with deck building. So I came in with something a little bit jank to fill in the spots.
Okay, we're all here for that. I think I said it in the opening section where I feel like we're not going to have enough cards to fill out a complete archetype. We're probably going to play like either 2+ archetypes. It's almost like how sealed would work in Magic, right? Where you have multiple colors and you have to like mix the 2 best colors that you have. But in this case, instead of that, we have archetypes. Again, it's very rare that we have this many options available to us, especially even like some of the reprint sets and stuff we've had in the past. They've never been this fleshed out, I feel like. And I feel like you and I could be coming to this with separate strategies entirely, which makes it really exciting. So let's get into it. Shout out the patron, Cedric Burmeister. Thank you for the support. And let's see if the good old rock, paper, scissors can lead us to victory. What do you got, buddy? What do you got? Okay. The dice are at parity.
This'll do it. It did.
Yep. You got it.
All right.
It.
Good luck. Have fun.
You as well. I see you loaded up your extra deck for this one.
Oh, I did.
I could have
spice in the extra. This is a terrible hand. Oh, this is actually kind of a hype hand. Never mind.
Okay. See what you got.
Let's draw for turn. You know, I said what I said, but I'm also going to.
Hype strategy.
Oh, just you wait. Oh, you know what? Why don't I, now that I've said all of that, why don't I activate a clock tower prison?
I thought we were supposed to have fun. What the fuck is this,
Oh, we
Robert?
are going to be having fun, let me tell you.
Just stop. Oh my god. Just when I thought that we were out of this contest. I bet you will. Okay, now I need to ask you this question for no particular reason. Which field spell rules are we currently playing with?
We are currently playing under the field spell rules under which you playing a new one face up would knock out mine.
Very interesting. Okay, just wanting to, you know, take that into account.
It could be anything.
Could be anything. I'm sure. Could be anything. Okay. So with that said, I feel like with the way my hand is looking, I'm going to want to be the aggressor. I don't know. There's a lot of 2K defenders in this set. That worries me. You know what? I'm down. Let's have fun. Gladiator Beast Lanista.
We're on Glads. No.
Yeah, Keegan would be proud. I did not think, I've never seen this card in my life, so this was really funny. That I'm like, what the fuck is this? But it's a Glad. Anything on summon?
Nothing on summon. This is kind of sick.
Let's see what happens.
It is Necrogardna, and having destroyed one of my monsters, I am going to follow up with Destiny Signal.
Sure, that's fine.
Okay.
Let's see what you're grabbing. I have a hunch of what you might grab here.
Well, I'm actually going to summon here, and maybe this is a bad idea, but I like this little guy. Is Destiny Hero Disc Commander.
Oh my god, he's on Disc Commander. This is crazy. Okay, I'll go to second main. Oh, excuse me, end of the battle phase, not second main. We're going to fire this Lanista effect, and let's go dig in for another Glad. Good question. I don't know what I'm getting. I need to remember what I'm playing, first off.
Real.
I like that one. I like this one a little bit better. Let's just go Hoplamus.
Oh, fine.
We'll just wall up with the biggest defender in the set. And that's just going to do it for me, buddy. Go ahead.
That's okay, buddy. Take your time. I am going to use my normal summon this turn on a copy of Neos Alias.
That's a good one.
It's a pretty solid one, to be honest. I don't like that you're just sitting on a Hoplo that can just swing into Disc Commander at any point.
I don't see any issue with it.
But I don't think there's really anything that I can do about that fact, so I think we're going to pass turn here.
So second standby, you're going to get your counter.
Second standby, that is correct.
Yes. Let's go to main phase 1 in that case, and think how I want to navigate this. So I think let's go ahead and run out our Lion Alligator.
The hell is this card?
This was one of the promos, buddy.
Oh, I'm going to be real with you. I genuinely forgot about the promos.
It's okay. I did that one episode too. I will be honest with you. I think I'm playing 2 of them. I think this is the better. I don't know if this is the better one, but there's only 2 that are like actually playable. And honestly, this one's just a 1900, which is the only reason.
It is a 1900.
Let's get in there. Screw it. We'll go to attack mode. I'm not afraid. Battle.
Okay.
I'm gonna crash our dudes.
Yeah, sure.
And then we're gonna go Hoplo into Disc Commander.
I ain't giving you attack D counter.
Okay, sure. That's fine. He can go. We'll just go to second main. Honestly, I'm I'm just going to pass. Go ahead.
Okay, draw for turn. That's a hilarious card for me to have drawn here. Let's normal summon the dude.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude. Sure.
I will declare the dude.
Whiff.
Give me the e-call. Oh, you didn't
You got
see
a
anything.
fucking
You didn't
Sidra,
see
dude.
anything.
Oh, come on. What rarity was Sidra?
It is an ultra rare.
Okay. All right. Well, that might give away something about my deck based on my reaction.
Sorry, it's taking me a second because Dueling Book has done a new fun glitch where it has flipped my controls upside down. So I'm having to read these upside down. I think this is the bottom of the deck.
How do you have these things happen to you?
I don't know. Dueling Book just uniquely hates me in particular. And then I am going to set a back row and pass the turn here.
Not attacking?
Oh, I forgot that the battle phase exists. Yeah, I'll attack it.
You seem to have that issue quite
I have
frequently.
that issue frequently. I'm like, I have a strategy in mind and I'm working toward that. And I forget that like part of winning the game is dealing damage.
I should have just not said anything.
You
honestly.
should have
All right.
not said anything
Yeah,
at
get
this
your
point.
thing. I don't care. I'm blowing up your thing.
Damn.
I don't care. Get it out of
Okay,
here.
that's fine.
Yeah, all right. So thankfully we had the built-in out to the clock tower with our skyscraper 2. Let's go ahead. Who do we want to run out? I think this guy's pretty good. Elemental Hero Stratos.
Oh, no. That is
Can we fire the
pretty
effect?
good. Yeah, you can.
All right, let's grab ourselves another hero monster, and we're going to get ourselves Elemental Hero the Heat.
Ooh.
Now Stratos is going to bring the heat. Let's take out the Diamond Dude.
Think on attack declaration.
Another D counter.
Uh,
You're just like on all Destiny heroes. What is this? And then one fucking what's it called?
One
the fucking
Neos Alias,
Hydra.
yeah.
And the Alias too.
I am going to de-shield my
Great. Equally as annoying.
Diamond Dude. Yep. So
Sure.
I will not have it be destroyed by battle. I will still take the damage though.
Yes. Well, no, it goes to defense.
Oh, it does go to defense. I forgot that it's got an initial effect.
Well, how could you forget an Aster Phoenix, buddy?
I genuinely don't know at this point.
Okay. So this is interesting. So you've got two dudes, literally, just chilling, and then you're not really doing much else. So I guess I just pass on this? Yeah, I guess. Go ahead. You got one card, draw into another. You can possibly hit Diamond Dude.
Oh, that's a good draw. Let's start by declaring Diamond Dude.
Whiff.
Give me that e-call.
Thank
Thank
God they go to bottom of deck.
Yeah,
Thank
that would be nuts. I never understood why Diamond Dude sends back to the bottom of the deck.
Because it'd be too good if it mill.
Well, speaking of which, let's start our little move here by switching Diamond Dude to attack. I will also normal summon a pretty good card, Card Trooper.
That's a nice one.
It's a very nice one. We're going to declare Card Trooper and we're going to mill 3.
3 normal spells, please. Oh, there's one.
That's
okay.
okay. That's a pretty good mill.
2 clock tower.
I refuse
What
to
are
give
your
away any
balls,
information.
dude?
That card was a
Jesus.
common. I don't know what you're talking about. And then another common that I genuinely really like. We're going to go for Cyclone Blade on
Oh my
Diamond
God!
Dude.
Of course, that's the last one. Yeah.
And we're going to go battle phase. I'll attack in with Card Trooper.
Okay, so I take 100 here.
You
Sure.
do. And I will attack for 14.
So
And then
no
we'll
power
take out
boost from
your
Cyclone
Hero
Blade.
City.
That you will.
Pass turn.
Well, you're all in on this, which makes me feel
I'm
slightly
very all
better.
in on it. Yeah.
Okay. Main phase 1. I like this play. We are going to activate a second skyscraper.
We're just on 2. Okay.
Normal the heat.
Okay. So that's an
Activate
1800.
skyscraper 2.
God, it is an activatable during your main phase, and you don't have to. Isn't this card an ultra in this set?
Probably. I don't
Oh
remember,
my
but
God.
we get
Yeah,
Stratos.
that's fine.
So we're going
you.
to declare Stratos, pop D shield.
That is rough. Okay.
Battle.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go Stratos into Diamond Dude.
Okay. I will take 400.
Okay. And then we're going to go Heat into Card Trooper.
And I will take 14.
You will
I'll get my draw.
take 16 because my Heat is
Oh.
at 2,000.
Oh, this is brutal.
And that is all we got.
2 Hero City.
Oh, come on! With the rest of your polls, you're bitching about my 2 hero cities.
What have I shown you so far that is more than a common?
Cyber Dragon, double clock tower prison, card trooper.
All of which are commons except the Cyber Dragon. I don't want to hear it. And I didn't draw any of them. Anyway, okay.
You also have a monster, so you'd have to sack it for Sidra, even if you did draw it. Also, it's at the bottom of your deck. You haven't shuffled anyway.
I know. I had such a fun strat, Alex, and you had to come by with the one deck.
Well, you know, Gage couldn't make heroes work in Prague, so I have to make them work here.
For real. Let's see. What do I do about this? I think I just pass on this.
We'll draw. Oh, man. Robert, my heat is going to keep getting fired up. Go, Sparkman!
That's fine.
18 and 22.
2200. Okay.
It's big. Go ahead.
Not going ideally. Oh, that's a cute card. God, Hero City is such a stupidly good card.
It's pretty good when there's like no spell and trap removal in this set. The out's in the bottom left corner of your screen.
That doesn't do much, but I think it helps me to survive the next turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay 1,000 to activate Instant Fusion.
Okay. Wasn't expecting you to pay more life points. I'm interested.
I'm going to summon Necroid Shaman.
That is a level 6.
Isn't Instant Fusion 6 or... Oh my god, it's 5 or lower. I was thinking of Magical Scientist. Yeah, you got it.
Also, Ready Fusion is 6, so maybe you're
also okay, yeah. Never
conflating
mind.
it with that. Yeah.
So apparently on top of the reading issue, I also have a counting issue. But honestly, my real issue is you not only pulling, but drawing into double copies of Hero City. What am I going to do with you in your life?
I don't want to hear it. You have two clock tower prisons. I don't want to hear it.
They're commons!
I don't care.
Those are
don't
commons! Okay, whatever. You know what? Here's a Stratos.
Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Declare Stratos. Let's see. What are we going to grab here? I am going to get Alias.
Formidable.
Pretty decent. And then I am going to set a back row.
Boo.
Pass turn.
All right, we'll draw. Anything?
Nope.
The real King of Beasts emerges!
He's pretty solid.
This one-eyed warrior bear is an aggressive hunter. Take down the Stratos.
You know, aggressive he is. I will take 200 here.
Take 100.
Oh, yeah, it's just 100.
You're really not having a good counting day, are you?
No, I'm not.
All right, go ahead.
That's pretty solid. Let's set a monster and also a back row, and I'll pass the turn to you.
Clearly, you can't bear the brunt of my Andal's tremendously fast and heavy blows. I'll try.
That was a grisly pun.
I'm having a good time. Main phase 1. Okay. What am I concerned with here? 2K Defender. Last time you had like Necro Gardna. I know you have an Alias. Alias just crashes with this. Could be like a Grave Squirmer, potentially. Let's just take a peek.
Okay. It is Disc Commander, and having destroyed a monster by battle, you have triggered my Destiny signal.
That I have.
Which I will use to summon from my deck Destiny Hero Fearmonger.
Gross. Okay. Second main. Is there anything I can do about this? There's actually something kind of interesting I can do here. I'm just not sure where it gets me. I'm down. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna fire a Venom Swamp.
What the hell?
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Oh, no.
And I'll just set one. And while we're at it, I'll just pass. Go ahead. End phase, we get our counters.
We do. I'll draw for turn.
So this is interesting because it basically forces you to crash your Fearmonger into me if you want to get the effect to get Disc Commander back.
That is true. So I think I am going to switch Fearmonger to attack here.
I would hope so.
I will take the 900 here.
Sure. Don't feel like you have much of a choice.
Yeah. And I mean, like, Pot of Greed next turn is pretty good.
I mean, it's not bad. Yeah.
Main phase 2, I'm going to set a monster, and I am going to pass.
Okay, so end phase, my Andal now goes down to 900. He is not as tremendous and fast as he used to be.
True.
We will go to main 1. You get to draw your 2, which I'm not particularly
I think
excited
it is
about.
during my standby.
It's your standby phase, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fine. What do we want to do? Let's give this a shot. Let's run out of Bestiari.
Well, fuck. Okay. Yep, you've got that.
Let's just hit this.
That was a really smart move on your part. Because in order to take out Venom Swamp, I am going to have to use Grave Squirmer on it and take the full 19 from Andal.
Interesting. Okay. All right, 19.
Yep.
End of battle phase. We'll tag out.
That makes sense. I love that Lanista is a mandatory effect.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, there he is.
There he is.
Can't use the effect because I don't have anything.
True.
But here we are. Second main, I do maintain these counters even though Venom Swamp is gone, because if Venom Swamp reappears, it's actually quite relevant. This is where I overlay for Utopia. No, that's probably it. I'll pass. Go ahead.
All right, draw for turn. We will use our Fearmonger in the graveyard.
There's DD Crow when you need him. Yep.
Indeed, and I'll summon my Disc Commander, and I will draw a nice 2 here. That's not a bad draw at all. Normal summon Neos Alias.
We knew about him.
Let's go to battle. I'll attack into the Lanista.
I'll take 100.
Okay.
Wish I had Laquari.
It is your go.
We'll draw. Let's go to main 1. Let's see what we want to do here. So I saw you have the Destiny Sakuretsu armor card, so I do need a little bit cautious of that. There's a very funny way I could deal with that potentially. I'm kind of down too. Let's do it. Normal Necro Guard.
Okay.
Battle. We'll hit.
There it goes.
And then we'll go. Let's crash these 2.
That is fine.
All right. Second main, I am just chilling. Go ahead.
Okay, draw for turn. Main phase 1, this seems like a pretty solid time to pop an O Oversoul to bring back my Alias.
Ooh, sure.
Okay. Let's normal summon Card Trooper here, and we will declare Card Trooper for 3.
Get milling. Ooh,
okay, that's
Dasher
a pretty
and
good
Grave.
one.
Don't like to
Dasher
see that.
and Grave is not bad. Let's go to battle. I'll attack in with Alias.
This will be 13 I'm taking.
Yeah. That's Hoplo. What does it get you? Andal? You haven't shown Laquari yet. You could be, like, deeply sandbagging me. I'll try for it.
It is Hoplo. Take your 2.
I'll take 2. Would you like to do anything before main phase 2?
I would. I'd like to go back if I can. Let's see what our options are. I've got a couple. We're going to go for a Darius.
Interesting. To get Andal? Okay.
Correct.
I will pass turn.
Let's draw. Not a terrible one either. Still want to be slightly wary of your back row. Now you don't have any Destiny heroes. I'm like not as concerned. Like in all honesty, the back row in this set is kind of lackluster.
Will tell you there is one very good piece of back row in this.
No, I'm not saying it's all bad, but like for how much there is, a lot of it is subpar.
That is true for sure.
Especially for how good a lot of the other cards are, like in every other department. I kind of like just making the conservative play here. I'll go to battle. Let's go Darius into the Trooper.
I will take 1,300 and I'll draw a card.
And then we'll crash these 2.
Okay, that is fine.
End of battle phase here. Let's tag out. Let's Bestiari the back row.
It is D-Shield.
Not bad. Would have been annoying later, so I'm just happy to get it out of the way. So now we're in second main. I think I'm content. Just... we'll fire this emergency call.
That's pretty good.
I'm going to get a Woodsman.
Hell yeah.
And I'm going to set a card. Could be anything.
Could
I'm
be
gonna pass it.
anything. I'll draw for turn. Interesting. Interesting. Let's take this opportunity to clear Bestiari. I'm going to normal summon the 6 Samurai Zanji.
He's a good one.
Yeah, we'll go into battle and I'll attack into Bestiari.
Necro Gardener.
Okay. That's not ideal, but it's also probably okay. I'm going to set a back row, and I'm going to pass turn.
We'll draw. Not exactly what I wanted to see, but I guess it's fine. Let's go ahead and normal summon the Heat.
There he is, bringing on the heat.
Battle, let's crash.
Okay, that's not ideal, but that's okay. Do
15.
I have anything to do? No,
Oh, yeah, you could have Destiny Signal. Sorry, takes it. All right, we're going to tag out.
Okay.
Let's grab... Could go for the Darius again. That was kind of sick. Yeah, we'll just wall up with Hoplomys.
Okay.
And I will summon Heat. Yes, I'll check it back.
Okay. Draw for turn. That's an interesting one. Okay. Think in draw phase.
Dasher, potentially.
Potentially.
This Hop is also 24, which is relevant.
Yeah, I am going to reveal Necro Gardener here.
Sure.
And we will special summon in defense.
Tributing in our future, potentially.
And then I am gonna normal summon Cyber Valley.
Oh, this is kind of sick, though.
I could banish both. There's a really high roll play available to me, but the chances that it works are so low that it's not worthwhile.
Understandable. All right, I'll draw. Cyber Valley just negates when it's targeted for an attack.
Correct.
Okay. Can I do anything about that? I do not think so. It's weird. I could just like never attack it until I have an out for it, but then you possibly draw 2, which is equally as terrifying. I'm going to run out Grand Mole. I'm going to put Hop to attack.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm going to go Battle. I'm going to attack Hop into your Necro Gardener.
Okay.
So I'll take 6 here. And now I'm going to go Mole attack the Gardener, bounce them back.
Okay. Yeah.
Then end of battle phase. Let's just keep popping your back row.
It is a Destiny Signal.
That's kind of why I wanted to do that, to play around it. Second main. I think I'm just content. So I will just pass.
Draw for turn. Can I get anything with any attack points?
Necro Garden has 600.
Yeah, I technically have attack points in hand. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, I kind of like it. I am going to normal summon the 6 Samurai. Come on.
Gonna crash here.
I am going to crash.
That makes sense. Keep me off my glad rotation. Sure.
Yeah. In main phase 2, I am going to set a back row, and I am going to pass turn.
This guy in the back row. All right, I'll draw. Main 1. Well, I don't think we're really getting around this valley any longer as much as I would like to. You have Dashered, correct?
I have Dashered. That's
Okay.
correct.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm going to flip Woodsman.
Hell yeah.
Normal Stratos, pop the back row.
Yeah, it's a D counter.
Okay. Well, this is going to force this.
It will indeed. We'll banish the Cyber Valley, and I'll draw a card.
End the battle phase and end my turn.
That's not a terrible draw. That's a really funny combination of draws.
I've actually very slowly turned card advantage back into my favor here.
Yeah, this is such a dumb idea. The major problem here is I've just been behind on life points the entire game, and that's rough.
Yeah, you don't have as much freedom as you would like. And I've been trying to apply pressure with that in mind.
Yeah. Let's normal summon Card Trooper.
Sure, this is risky.
It's very risky, but I think I have to go for it in order to stay in the game.
All right, see what you got. Okay.
Not terrible. Not many of those are cards I'd be interested in drawing. I am going to... God, if you draw into Hero City after I run over Stratos, I'm going to be so mad. But, like, you know, if you do, I was just going to lose anyway. Let's do it.
Take 100.
Main phase 2, I am going to set a further 2 back row.
Jeez, it's been sitting on these.
and pass turn. So far, they haven't really accomplished much because I've just gotten an awkward order of things.
Anything in standby? I didn't
Nothing
ask.
in the standby. Would you like
All
to
right.
add polymerization to your hand?
This may shock you. I will not add polymerization to my
Okay.
hand. You've gone through 2 destiny signals. It's not unlikely you have a third because that was a common. Well, I guess we go for it. Proving ground. Let's grab ourselves another Lanista.
Hell yeah.
Let's bring him out.
Okay.
Let's go to battle. I will put the Lanista in.
I will take 1,400. And I will draw a card.
Game?
That. I will activate Return of the Six Samurai
Sure.
targeting
Okay.
Zanji.
Just so he doesn't die. Yeah. Not much I can do about that. Second or end of battle phase, excuse me. Let me tag out here. Who we get?
What are we
Who
going
we
for?
get? We've got a couple of contenders here. So what's gonna happen? Your Zanji dies in end phase, right? We'll just wallop with the hop.
Okay.
And I am sitting pretty. Go ahead.
When
Zanji
you pass
dies.
priority for main phase 2, I'm actually going to return back my other Zanji, and then I'm going to resolve things such that the first Return of the Six resolves and Zanji destroys the other Zanji, so nothing happens.
I see. Okay, that's cute. Very cute.
Let's draw for turn. That's solid. Oh, that is pretty good.
I just realized you're pretty low on cards over there.
I'm pretty low on cards, it's true. Let's normal summon Stratos.
That's not a bad one.
Yeah, and what we are going to get from deck is the only target that I have left, which is Captain Gold.
Hell yeah. You already milled the skyscraper.
I
Fantastic.
did already mill the skyscraper. I am going to set a back row, and I will pass the turn. Oh, wait. I'm going to go to battle phase, attack over, and then pass the turn. Why do
Yeah.
I always think I'm in main
Yeah.
phase 2?
I don't know. Maybe you play Duel Links or something. So
Something
I take
like that.
8 here.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But I wanted to add polymerization to my hand. All right, made one.
Yeah.
I'm not in a major rush or anything. I think I will set 1, and I will just chuck it back.
Okay. There is a draw in my deck that basically immediately wins me this game. That's not quite it, but it's not terrible. Let's just continue having guys. I am going to normal summon an Andal. Battle phase.
Yep.
Let's see.
It's a 2K guy. Take your
Got
100.
another woodsman. Okay, yep. Not ideal. I will pass the turn here.
Draw. That's very funny. All right, main phase 1.
Draw that wins me the game grows ever closer, but it is still not here.
I don't know if you're going to get to that point, buddy.
We'll see.
I will sacrifice Woodsman and Hoplimus
Oh,
for Blade Edge.
what? You're on Blade Edge? What the hell?
Game?
Yeah!
Yeah!
Oh my god, what was that? Double tribute for Blade Edge. Okay,
Yep,
show me
yep.
the Anishi. Oh, it was Cyber
Oh,
Dragon.
you have
It
a
wouldn't
Nishi.
mattered.
That's
I
sick.
do have a
That's
Nishi.
cool.
So I had in the side deck a transformation side into Six Samurai.
That's awesome. That's cool.
So I only got 5 main deck or like normal summonable Six Samurai, but I figured with a Nishi, I wouldn't have to draw into multiple Six Samurai. I could mill them
Sure.
off of Card Trooper, and then he's like a real card. God, I opened that game with all of my Destiny heroes except Dasher and Disc Commander.
Oh, really?
And then I just
Wow.
proceeded to draw D-Signal, a bunch of stuff that defends Destiny heroes after all my shit was gone. Oh,
That's
that
so
was brutal.
miserable. Oh my god. So it's funny you mentioned Six Sams. I pulled triple Grandmaster, and I
Oh,
opted
damn.
not to play Six Sams because I didn't have enough of the good little Six Sams that I felt it wasn't worth playing. I only pulled 1 Zanji. Like, if I pulled 3 Zanji, I probably could have justified playing 3 Grandmaster and 3 Zanji. But
For sure.
yeah, the rest just like it was just not happening. So Yeah, so you're probably wondering why I'm on Blade.
Yeah, I am. Are we on Wild Edge? Is that what's going on?
I'm not
here?
on Wild Edge. I'm on Plasma Vice.
Plasma Vice.
So
Holy shit.
what's ironic is I joked about the Woodsman thing. I had Sparkman in hand, so I was kind of kicking myself. I had Polly in the side in case this exact scenario come up. I could have just fusion summoned Plasma Vice if I had the Polly from that Woodsman, and I wouldn't even had to tribute summon for the Blade Edge. I could have won last turn. But sadly, I don't even have it in the deck, so that was just not possible. So the reason I'm on it is because I am playing the one of Future Fusion.
Damn, that's sick.
Yeah, so the idea was I have a few targets for Future Fusion. So Plasma Vice is pretty sick. I'm also playing, because I'm playing Sparkman and Blade Edge, I also am playing Clayman by default. I have a Thunder Giant too.
Oh, Jeezy Creasy. Yeah, that's a really good set of heroes.
Yeah, so I figure playing one Blade Edge just to enable Plasma Vice isn't the end of the world. And also, Clayman's, I would play Clayman by default because he's a 2K defender. Sparkman's like not great, but he's like fine. He's 1600. And I also pulled a copy of Miracle Fusion. So,
my man is talking about my one copy of Cyber Dragon and my buffet of commons, and he's out here with the full list of Gladiator Beast, Sansa Laquari, which doesn't matter, with Future Fusion, Miracle Fusion, and the Thunder Giant with parts to make it. And the Double Hero City. I want to hear nothing out of you about pulls.
So the only other good promo is actually Great Tornado, which is very easy to make when you have Miracle Fusion because there's so many good wins in our set. Stratos is a win. He's also a hero, so that works. But also the Lanistas are wins as well. So there's plenty of just Bestiari is also a win too. So it's pretty easy to resolve a Miracle Fusion and drop Great Tornado at any moment. But unfortunately, I never got to do either of those things on you, which would have been great. Aside from that, like I was playing, like I said, it's sort of like a Glad hero deck, but then I just had like random bullshit. I also had White Knight Dragon in here, and this may seem weird, but it's sort of like with the Blade Edge example, it's like White Knight Dragon hit
card.
Yeah, and with Skyscraper, almost nothing with Skyscraper can hit over this. Yep. So I figured that's actually maybe worth playing if we're in this situation. I was ascertaining we were going to be in this state where we kind of have some 2K defenders, not a ton of removal to deal with them, and then honestly, just tribute summoning for a big dude and just smacking over things kind of seemed like a method at some point. But yeah, I also got some Grave Squirmers. I mean, those were common.
Yeah.
I did get I only got 2 hero cities, so, you know, I didn't get a third. I got Ryo, which is kind of cool. I think that's really it for like the cool
I got the one
pulls.
copy of that too. Yeah, I was also considering White Knight Dragon. The 2 reasons I didn't think about it was because I thought there was like, so first of all, Grave Squirmer is a card and Grave Squirmer doesn't affect it. I thought it was just going to, like, there aren't a lot of pieces of back row that interact with it, but there are like a lot of monsters that do. Grand Mole does, Grave Squirmer does. If you're on the D heroes, or if you're on like Clay Charge, which is a pretty decent card, I don't think Clay Charge targets. I think it just destroys the attack target, but I know that D counter doesn't. So I was like, if you sack for it and attack into a Grave Squirmer, it's just like game over pretty much.
Yeah.
So I chose not to run it, knowing that I'm on Dasher. I might have changed that plan a little bit, but I don't think it would have made the difference here.
I will say what's pretty sick is
call with no targets.
I will say it's pretty sick with how different our decks ended up being. Like, I didn't pull a single card trooper. I pulled Disc Commander with no Fearmonger, so I had no way to resurrect it. I didn't pull Oversoul. I didn't pull Sidra. So it's just neat to see the directions that we kind of split off into here with what we pulled. And I think that makes for like a more interesting episode.
For sure, I agree. The Venom Swamp was a sick tech, knowing that you had field spells to knock out your own Venom Swamp. Jane is a sick card, so is Topaz Tiger. I didn't get either of those cards. Those are pretty cool. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff to recommend this set. The only thing I wish is that it had like genuine back row aside from the D prisons.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because that's why I actually didn't play a single trap, if you didn't notice. I was just on all monsters and spells because to me, I just felt like it wasn't worth it, especially because my Destiny Hero package was so weak. I felt like I couldn't really justify. I did pull copies of D counter, but I felt like having to play like Tenacious and like Doom Lore, like it just didn't feel that good because they're so wimpy by comparison. I had them in the side in case I realized after the fact that that was a terrible idea. The one thing with Destiny Signal is it gives you a monster for tribute summoning the next turn. So like there's that. But I don't know. Like I just kind of felt, especially with Venom Swamp, I just figure, okay, I'm just going to play like Beatdown. And then if he has defenders, Venom Swamp the defenders and then just keep summoning guys that he just can't beat them. So
yeah,
I guess it ended up paying off.
And I was looking at the Destiny heroes because my like set of them lined up really nicely. The Tenacious, with the D shield, but also with the counters, being able to keep a Tenacious on the board for one turn to get into Disc Commander is good enough. And then if you get the Dreadmaster, which I would have were it not for the 2 Hero City that you not only were running but drew into, I would have gotten Dreadmaster, and Dreadmaster is a sizable dude that also resurrects Disc Commander. So that was my logic for running that, and it did not work out at all for reasons that became evident. But this was a cool set.
Yeah, this was pretty neat. I'm happy we did this. So guys, that's going to wrap it up for another video. I really hope you all enjoyed. Let's go ahead and shout the patrons for all of their continued support. So shoutouts to Shadow1317, Tim00x3, Moto, MBT Play Madolce, Cameron Smith, Pony Stark Part 2, The Synchro Guy, Dan the Man Hoban, Phoenix the Immortal, Dixon Yamada, Draconic, Jordan Coods, Iron Bladesman, Jesse Wood, Chris Hood, Ballin Jackson, Dylan Hunter, Little Fade Leaf, Cody Brett's Extremely Vulgar Man, Brody Eastwood, Carlos DT, Flannel Daddy, Hornet, Indian Atai Show, Thanks for the Sleeves Dad, Max, Matthew Brady, Twinkle Muncher, Luabon, Yodabon, Eater of Crayons, Helios 515, Simo's Chaos Cooking Draft, Simping for Simo, Cheeks McLapperty, Dalton, Stolfin Amethyst, Nim Noodle, Mallow Branch of the Burning Tunnels, Wonder Waffle, MBT canceled by all community soon, canceled by all committee soon, canceled by all players soon, Yus, Unis the Bus, Shrugzix, the Crystal Beast Enthusiast, ITF, Corvain, and True Dragon Gaming. Thank you all so much for watching the video, and we will see you next time.